Now on Good Morning Northwest, polls close here in the inland Northwest in about 38 hours. Why elections officials are recommending you should not drop your ballot at the elections office.
It's going to be a busy weather day. Boy, I tell you, we're going to get rain and then we're going to get winds. We're going to get the timing for you. That's coming up.
And deadly storms in Tornado Alley. We take a look at the tornado destruction in Oklahoma and how it could affect voting. You're watching Good Morning Northwest on 4 News Now. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. I'm Natalie Grant.
And I'm Robin Nance. It is Monday, November 4th. Let's check in with Mark. And Mark, after a wet weekend, more of the same?
Well, yes. Okay, yes. Yeah, today's going to be that way. 35 degrees. Currently, we get increased clouds. We still have a fairly clear condition over into Coeur d'Alene 34, but that's going to change quickly. As we look at what we can expect in the 4 things that we want you to know about, it's going to be rain starting this morning all the way into the afternoon. Snowy mountain passes above 4,000 feet. Gusty winds are going to be kicking up, and then it's going to be sunny for Tuesday, which is Election Day. Forecast radar, we have it sitting right there. It's going to cross over us. The heavier amounts are going to come in midday. We're going to see those roll out by afternoon. Kids getting out of school, things should be drying out, but the winds fire up, so it's still going to be very cool, if not cold. And then we're still going to see the potential for scattered showers, but the Selkirks all the way down to the Central Rockies are going to see mountain snows overnight. We're going to continue to clear out, and things look pretty good. Doppler radar has been very busy this morning, firing up about 4 o'clock. We start to see these starting to work their way in. We're loading the environment. We're loading this rain in. So we're going to see that continue to make its way towards us. Temperature-wise right now, relatively mild, 35 degrees into Deer Park, 34 Cheney. Temperatures nearing 40 degrees into the Valley, Liberty Lake, and Coeur d'Alene, sitting at 40 degrees. Your forecast for the day, yeah, we're going to see rain showers throughout the morning and into the afternoon with gusty winds and temperatures into the mid-40s.
We are just one day away from the election, and the Spokane County Elections Office is asking voters not to go to the elections office to cast a vote.
That's right. Instead, voters are asked to consider additional voting service centers, which are now open throughout our region, providing more parking and voting space, which is why they're asking you to go there instead, likely saving yourself from a headache. Our Hunter Bertram explains.
The Spokane County Elections Office is nestled into this corner.
We do not have ample parking here, so it's tough getting in and out, and we don't want people to wait in line.
Instead, election officials recommend you cast your vote elsewhere.
We're anticipating, it could be up to 5,000 people that come to get need a ballot or something on election day.
Mike McLaughlin, the Spokane County elections manager, is referencing the recently opened county voting service centers. These centers were closed during the last general election because of the pandemic.
So they'll be able to get you a ballot, you'll vote it, and you'll put it in a drop box at the site.
The Center Place Regional Event Center in Spokane Valley is one of the 2 county service centers that have been opened for voters. On Saturday, the location saw more than 300 voters, and on Sunday, that number was expected to increase to nearly 500 voters. Starting Monday, the other voter service center opens at the EWU Catalyst Building off of Sprague, just east of downtown. Both will be open from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Monday and 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Election Day. However, Mike McLaughlin encourages you at home to turn in your ballot as soon as possible.
If you wait till Tuesday, 7 o'clock, and you hit a red light, or you hit every red light, you're not going to make it here, in time. So,
to ensure your vote counts, you must be at one of these service centers by 8 p.m. on Tuesday. If you're not at least in line by that time, your vote will not be counted. In Spokane, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
And if you want to check that the office has received your ballot, it's super easy. All you have to do is log onto your computer and go to votewa.gov. You can then plug in your name and your birth date, and you'll see whether it's been accepted or if there was any problems that need a little bit of follow-up.
It really is so easy. And when you're there, that is also where you can print off a replacement ballot if you need one. Again, for the dates and times for the voter service centers, go to KXLY.com/forthepeople.
Now, we heard a few of your concerns about reports of people receiving multiple ballots or being able to obtain additional ballots at these county service centers. Now, we wanted to fact check those claims and answer some of your questions. What we found out is that no matter how many ballots you obtain, the Spokane County Elections Office will only count 1 of your submissions. And your ballot has to be sealed in your voter envelope, which has a unique barcode containing your registration details. If you're wondering why someone someone would have received more than one ballot? Well, the Spokane County Auditor, Vicki Dalton, has that answer.
If something changes in your voter registration record, it's going to generate an automatic replacement ballot. The most common one is something that the voter does, and that is by going to Washington driver's licensing and making some kind of change to their license, such as changing their name, changing their address, or possibly even just renewing their driver's license.
And Dalton further emphasized that your ballot will not count unless it's in a sealed envelope which contains your registration information. She also noted that if someone submits more than one ballot, not only will additional ballots not be counted, but legal action could be taken for potential voter fraud. Switching gears now, we got severe weather that's hitting part of the central U.S.
And yesterday, tornadoes slammed the state of Oklahoma. Hannah Joy is at the Breaking Now desk. And Hannah, those storms hurt a number of people.
Nearly a dozen of people are hurt. Multiple tornadoes have been reported through parts of Oklahoma.
It was really heavy rain that woke us up and some thunder. And by the time we got up out of bed to turn the news on or see what the news was saying, then the train came over our roof. You know, it was pretty loud, pretty powerful.
One tornado had winds of at least 136 miles per hour. The twisters damaged or destroyed dozens of homes and buildings. Cars flipped over, homes ripped apart, and the storm snapped trees. Power lines are now down and gas lines are broken, and at least 30,000 power outages were reported. Oklahoma's governor issued an emergency declaration for 6 counties.
Storms coming, so don't rely on the sirens. Make sure you're watching your news and your cell phones, taking cover when you can.
Now the state is making sure that polling stations are up and running for Election Day tomorrow.
We just wanted Oklahomans to know, big election on Tuesday, and we just want them to know we are prioritizing with our utilities to make sure that that power is up at those polling stations.
The governor says if there are any issues at polling places tomorrow, voters will be rerouted to other locations to cast their ballots. Reporting in studio, Hannah Joy, 4 News Now.
Hannah, thanks so much. Striking workers at Boeing are set to vote on a new contract proposal today. The offer between Boeing and the union includes compounding pay increases that add up to more than 43% over the 4-year deal. It also includes increased contributions to the employees' 401k accounts. However, it does not restore the pensions plans the union lost a decade ago. The offer is also a modest increase over the last offer that nearly 33,000 striking workers rejected. This has become the costliest strike to the U.S. economy this century. Good morning. Northwest time is now 8 minutes after 6 o'clock.
Checking back in with Mark Peterson here as we get into our Monday after a rainy weekend.
Yeah, we're surrounded by systems, bringing winds to the Palouse and snows into the Cascades and some snow to the higher elevations of northeastern Washington and North Idaho. We will not see we'll see some wind and we'll see some rain. We'll talk more about the timing on that coming up.
Election Day is tomorrow. Are you ready? I'm sharing the information Idaho voters need to know about coming up.
And floods and mud buried hundreds of people in eastern Spain in what's being called the worst natural disaster there in recent history. Why people threw mud and insults at the country's royalty visiting the disaster. That's right after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
When it matters most, America turns to David Muir and ABC's World News Tonight.
Why is liberal Carmilla Conroy mudslinging and stretching the truth? Maybe it's to hide her extreme plans for an open border, drugs pouring into the country, and higher taxes. Conroy doesn't fit our district. Michael Baumgartner will protect our families, Social Security and Medicare, ensure veterans get the benefits they've earned, fight inflation, and make our neighborhoods safe by securing the southern border.
I'm Michael Baumgartner, and I approve this message.
BECU and 4 News Now are teaming up for the Great American Flag Swap. On November 8th, bring your old tattered flag to BECU, and in exchange, you'll receive a new flag with help from Uncle Sam's Flag and Gift.
This November, let's thank veterans and military families who are serving.
BECU is proud to be part of the Great American Flag Swap. We're honored to live in a community that supports veterans and military families who sacrifice for the benefit of us all. Visit us in Spokane and see what banking is like when people come first. BECU, not for profit, equals more for people.
This is important information from AARP and BECU. With the election right around the corner,
there's a lot at stake. Data shows that voters age 50 and over make up the majority of voters in most elections. Make sure that your voice is heard. When AARP asks, older adults say they want candidates who will address their day-to-day challenges, financial security, and the needs of family caregivers. Make an informed decision on the issues you care about. For tips and tools, check out AARP's online election guide at this website.
As a local reporter for almost 30 years, I have seen politics up close, the good and the bad. But since we closed the primaries in this state, it has gotten worse. Party bosses changed the rules, and that cut out 275,000 voters from participating. And wouldn't you know it, elected officials are now even less accountable to the people of Idaho. Prop 1 reopens our primaries for all taxpayers, so we can pick the candidates that work for us. I'm voting yes on Prop 1 to give power back to the people of Idaho.
We've collected thousands of warm winter coats for this year's Coats for Kids campaign. The coats have now been cleaned thanks to Alsco. If you know a child in need of a warm winter coat, go to KXLY.com/coatsforkids to find a distribution location near you.
We did it together. Thank you to the hundreds of people who donated to Coats for Kids at a Goodwill store this October. Your endless giving warmed our hearts and will help warm hundreds of children this winter. Thank you.
The time is 6:11. Here's a look at what's new on Good Morning Northwest. The election is tomorrow, and more than 70 million Americans have already cast their ballots.
That's according to data gathered from 47 states and the District of Columbia. That figure is nearly 45% of the roughly 158 million votes cast for the 2020 presidential election. Nearly 70% of the votes were cast ahead of Election Day that year, which took place amid the pandemic. But during the 2022 midterms, roughly half of the votes were cast before Election Day.
Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez calls the storm and subsequent flooding that hit Valencia the worst natural disaster in the country in recent history. At least 214 people are dead and hundreds still missing. Sanchez says he will deploy thousands of armed forces members, police officers, and search and rescue teams to the region. Spain's king and queen visited the region, but were met with boos and people throwing eggs and mud at them, some chanting "murderer." Many there angry at the slow and uncoordinated response to the crisis.
The United States is now providing more military support for Ukraine. According to Secretary of State Antony Blinken, it's a $425 million aid package, which will include artillery, armored vehicles, and air defense interceptors. Blinken says President Joe Biden will use much of the majority of authority that Congress authorized to back Ukraine before the end of his term. This new package comes as thousands of troops from North Korea are potentially going to join Russian forces in the fight against Ukraine.
A series of volcanic eruptions in Indonesia have killed at least 6 people. The eruption just after midnight at Mount Luatobi Laki spewed ash as high as 6,500 feet into the air. The hot ash hit a nearby village, burning down several houses and a convent for Catholic nuns. At least 10,000 people have been affected by the eruption.
It's 6:13. It's a Monday. It's your 10-second takeaway. It's going to be rainy this morning. Winds are going to fire up all throughout the afternoon and evening, and it's going to be a cool day today. So have a rain jacket, a nice warm layer. 44 the high today.
Well, if this election is causing you to lose some sleep, you're not alone. Sleep specialists say they're seeing more people being triggered with election-related sleep issues, which they refer to as electsomnia.
The person has difficulty falling asleep, and they may be kind of thinking about the election or potentially what the future might look like, waking up in the middle of the night and struggling to fall back asleep, or even just poorer sleep quality.
Now, to prioritize sleep before you even go to bed, you can limit social media and election news exposure, which can worsen stress and add to those sleep difficulties. Turn the phone off. Get some Zen time.
Yep.
Your Good Morning Northwest time right now is 6:14.
Childhood obesity in America. New numbers are in. Are children getting healthier? We look at the figures and the reasons behind the change.
And tomorrow, of course, is Election Day. And in Idaho, they're already seeing a massive turnout for those early voters. But in-person elections voters start tomorrow. Allison Martinez has everything you need to know. That's after this break.
Initiative 2124. It's purposely misleading. So here's what you need to know. Independent analysts say if I-2124 passes, It will bankrupt our affordable long-term care benefit, leaving millions of Washingtonians with no options but private insurance that charges way too much and routinely denies coverage to millions with pre-existing conditions. Don't let it happen. Protect your long-term care benefits. Vote no on I-2124.
Our community is at extreme risk for wildfire, from Latah Valley to Indian Trail to the West Plains.
The firefighters of Spokane County endorse Molly Marshall because she knows what we need to make our community safe. She'll fight for missing infrastructure like fire stations and safe roads.
You deserve transparent government that will help keep your homes insurable and your families and neighbors safe.
Join us and vote for Molly Marshall on November 5th because responsible leadership matters.
Hi, I'm Randy, owner of Rooter 911 Sewer and Drain.
Sewer and drain cleaning at half the price of the larger competitors.
24/7 service for all of your sewer and drain cleaning needs in Spokane, 535-3136.
Welcome to Parker Toyota, the Toyota Truck Center of the Northwest. Our inventory has never been better with a huge selection from stock to fully customized trucks.
And now you can choose between a gas or hybrid powertrain. So whether you're looking for great MPGs or a 12,000-pound towing capacity, we have the truck for you.
Check out the all-new Toyota Tacoma and Tundra at your locally owned Parker Toyota in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
Many great careers don't need a 4-year degree. They start out here. Bob Ferguson has a detailed plan to expand apprenticeships and on-the-job training like I had, to get more Washingtonians the skills they need to succeed. And Bob will eliminate 4-year degree requirements for most state jobs, opening doors to more good-paying careers. I would support Bob Ferguson, even if he wasn't my kid brother, but it helps he listens to old machinists like me.
Bob Ferguson for governor.
Man, I can take real good care of you. See? Works perfectly for you, right?
At Craig Swap & Associates, we don't get paid until you win.
One call, that's all. 509-999-9999.
4 News Now is brought to you by Consign Furniture.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Welcome back. It's now 6:17. Now, Election Day might not be until tomorrow, but many Idaho voters have already turned in those ballots.
Yeah, many Idahoans have decided to vote early or request an absentee ballot this year. Allison Martinez live with a look at what's driving people to the polls. Allison, good morning.
Good morning. Idaho's Secretary of State has said that voter turnout is expected to surpass historic levels, and that has been the case. Here at the Kootenai County Elections Office, they've seen more than 1,000 people for every day of early voting. Friday was the last day of early voting here, and the line was wrapped around the building, even in the rain and in the cold. In Kootenai County, the numbers of ballots cast so far has already surpassed the numbers from May's primary election. And it's not just the big race that's driving people to the polls. It's local and statewide measures.
The president election is very important.
Our local college, North Idaho College, the Prop 1.
Nearly 41,000 early and absentee ballots have been returned in Idaho, amounting in an 88.6% return rate. Coming up in 30 minutes, I'll share the information you need to know if you plan on voting in person here at the elections office. In Coeur d'Alene, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
Yeah, coming up there quick, good information to know there. Thanks, Allison.
Definitely. And of course, we think about the country and what we're all dealing with this morning. And we're dealing right here with the wind. As you saw that, whipping flags right there.
That's right. Winds in excess of 10 miles an hour. We're going to see those gusts to 40 miles an hour.
Wow.
I'll have more on the winds coming up in just a minute. Let's take a look at what we have for watches, advisories, and warnings. Winter storm warning for the northern Cascades. We're going to see quite a bit. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Hey,
Pretty good.
Hey, I'm still here.
Press a button, people. And then a winter weather advisory that's into the Selkirks all the way into North Idaho. That's till 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. So it's going to be a quick mover, and we are going to see snow in the higher elevations, up to a foot of snow in some of the mountain passes, including Stevens Pass. So Doppler radar, we fire everything up, and yeah, we do have that just starting to make its way in. Again, it's got to load in. We're relatively dry, so it's going to take a while, but this is going to be through us. And then midday, we're expecting heavier rain showers coming in. By 10 a.m., 40 degrees, winds to 14 miles an hour. We get into the afternoon, we're going to see the rain showers really tapering off about 3, 4 o'clock, but those winds in excess of 25 miles an hour, drying out, and then temperatures into the low 40s, but it'll feel like, you know, freezing almost because of wind chill. So at 8 o'clock, we're going to see some very gusty winds, 7 to 8. The potential for power outages is real throughout many areas, certainly into the Central Basin with winds that could gust to 50 miles an hour. We're going to see potential gusts this afternoon to 40 with sustained winds to 20, 22 miles an hour. This could very well help get some of the leaves out of the trees, but it's going to blow them into the neighbor's yard or his trees into your yard. See how that's sort of both ways. We do have that, again, building in. We have quite a bit of energy behind it. That's going to make its way over us, and then it's going to kick really fast. So we see the heavier rains middle of the day. And then by tonight, we're going to see clearing conditions, still windy. And then tomorrow, it's going to be sunshine and breezy with winds to 15 miles an hour. So for today, we're going to be into the mid-40s. We're going to see that all the way, Ritzville, 48 degrees. Mid-40s for us all week long. Windy, rainy conditions today. Tomorrow, breezy, sunny for, again, Election Day, 46. So the weather impacts for Spokane, Coeur d'Alene are going to be minimal, just, you know, breezy, that's it.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Mark. Your Good Morning Northwest time right now is 6:22.
Oh, the Seahawks looked to get things back on track yesterday against a division rival, the LA Rams, in a game that needed more than 4 quarters to decide. The Hawks eventually fell in overtime. The highlights from that game after the break, next in Morning Sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Life's busy. Off is not an option. You need to be on. On time, on the go, on the call, or just ready to play on. Life's waiting. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of over 700 locations today.
ABC's World News Tonight at 4 News Now, when the local story is national news.
When national stories hit home. Watch ABC World News Tonight at 5:30.
And 4 News Now at 6. That's what we mean when we say expect more.
Out here, we have an independent streak. We want the government to stay out of our business. That's what freedom is. A woman's private medical decisions should be between her and her doctor. Michael Baumgartner has a long record of opposing abortion in almost all cases, even when a woman is raped. He'd let states restrict access to birth control and fertility treatments. I'm Carmela Conroy. I approve this message because our freedoms are at stake.
What's all this? You said it was a recovery day. I got my yoga mat, foam roller, electrolytes, and protein bars. The whole setup.
Refrigerant recovery, Ben. We're recovering the refrigerant to fix the heat pump.
Oh, right. I knew that. Want a protein bar?
Right now, get a free tankless water heater with every full HVAC system purchase. Call Bills today.
Electrolyte?
Ben, take the robe off.
Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Right now, you can lease a new 2024 Tacoma for just $349 per month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Mannheim Steamroller Christmas by Chip Davis. Celebrating the holiday spirit for over 35 years.
November 21st at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets on sale now at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Batteries Plus has the national scale for all your power needs and a dedicated expert for the local support you want. Power on with Batteries Plus Business.
Well, you could have turned on the TV during the fourth quarter of this Seahawks game yesterday and saw all you needed to know. Welcome into Morning Sports. I'm Sydney Berger. The Seahawks suffered a brutal loss in a wild overtime thriller, and if 3 consecutive losses at home is heavy on anyone's shoulders, it's Geno Smith. You've got no DK Metcalf and no Noah Fant, but it doesn't seem to be a problem, at least early on. Geno Smith to Jackson Smith and Jigba for the score. That ended up being 2 touchdowns in 45 seconds for the Seahawks. Now the game in the fourth quarter here, Smith trying to get out of that sack, but nothing worse than a moment like that. Thrown right to Rams, Cameron Kinchens, and Kinchens takes it all the way home. It's a 103-yard interception return for the Rams to put them in the lead. Chaos continues, though. The Seahawks special teams coming in absolutely clutch. It's a blocked punt. And just like that, Smith's got another chance in the red zone. And although Halloween is over, a man named Cameron Kinchens will be in Geno's nightmares. It's Kinchens again with back-to-back interceptions, but the Seahawks get the ball back, but Seattle will have no timeouts with less than 50 seconds to play in regulation. So they're in the red zone again, and JSN is in the right place at the right time. Geno to JSN, the score ties at 20, and now we're headed to overtime. The Seahawks can't get the touchdown with a Kenneth Walker run on 4th and 1. All the Rams need here is a field goal. They wanted the extra credit. That's a touchdown from Matt Stafford to Demarcus Robinson for a Rams win. The final score out of Seattle, 26-20, and in the loss, Geno Smith threw for 3 touchdowns, but also 3 interceptions. Now the Seahawks have a bye week this week to sort some things out. Hopefully they do so in time for their next matchup. In studio, Sydney Berger, 4 News Now Sports.
Yeah, definitely probably want to go back to the drawing board after that game yesterday.
Yeah, rough one.
And also happening tonight, hey, for sports fans, Gonzaga's got their first home game tonight of the season. Yeah. Playing Baylor 8:30 right at the Spokane Arena. So
there are tickets available. They're not cheap, though.
Yeah.
I just looked.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Your Good Morning Northwest time is 6:27.
Tomorrow, of course, it's Election Day, and today the presidential candidates are getting in their last day of campaigning, trying to get out the vote in swing states. A look at their final day on the campaign trail next.
Plus, Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown releases her first budget proposal since taking office. What issues she hopes to tackle when we come back. And before we go to break, here's a first look of what's coming up on Good Morning America starting at 7.
In this morning's GMA First Look, actor James Van Der Beek, known for his roles on Dawson's Creek.
You can call me an eternal optimist. I have faith.
And Varsity Blues, opening up about a very private health journey with colorectal cancer. The 47-year-old telling People magazine, "I've been privately dealing with this diagnosis and have been taking steps to resolve it with the support of my incredible family, and recommend that people at average risk that have no family history, among other things, start regular screening at the age of 45.
It's important to get the word out. And so when celebrities are diagnosed with the disease, it really can be helpful for educating the population about the problem and hopefully raising awareness and leading to a higher screening rate.
Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll hear from a colorectal cancer specialist about why we're seeing an increase in the disease among younger people. With your GMA First Look, I'm Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
When you have moderate to severe eczema, it's okay to show off. With Dupixent, show off your clearer skin and less itch. Because you have plenty of reasons to show off your skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, you can stay ahead of your eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your skin from within. Many adults saw 90% clearer skin. Some even achieved long-lasting clearer skin and fast itch relief after first dose. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Election night, this is where America turns for answers. ABC, Election Night.
This is a story of first downs and second chances.
I wanted to keep playing, but my feet hurt.
You'd think all those big league experts could have helped.
You have access to anything, but none of it worked.
His football career ended, but his plantar fasciitis pain didn't. Till he found the Good Feet store.
I got fitted for my arch supports. Let me tell you something. They work.
Now, he recommends Good Feet to
anybody. If you move, go to the Good Feet store.
So get moving. Come in for your free fitting.
It's this time of year that we look to our veterans. Veterans Day week, we're going to be helping two vets. One, John, he's in a wheelchair, cannot use his sidewalk. It's splaying, it's falling apart. We're going to replace the whole thing. Not to mention, we're going to get the yard all cleaned up, ready for the wintertime. Also, our next vet is also named John. We're going to do some maintenance on the house. We're going to get some painting done interior-wise, kitchen and living room. We're just going to try and help them out as best we can. The 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Well, integrity has been drilled into my head for 30 years in the military because our core values, integrity, service before self, excellence in all you do. It is doing the right thing when no one's looking. I am concerned for the safety of our community because of wildfire in the water. We're missing accountability. Somebody has got to challenge this. We've got to make a change.
Choose responsible leadership. Vote for Molly Marshall.
From 4 News Now, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning, and thanks so much for starting your day, your week with us. I'm Robin Nance.
And I'm Natalie Grant. Today is Monday, November 4th. Welcome to your week. Let's start things off today with Mark Peterson and a look at our first alert forecast. As we head out the door this morning, what are things looking like?
It looks like you better grab a jacket and get ready for some rain. And again, the wind's going to make it feel colder than it really is. Right now, winds to 10, it's 35 degrees, 34 into Coeur d'Alene with clouds starting to move in. Here's a look at the 4 things that we want you to know. It's going to be rain that's going to be not only this morning, but into the afternoon, then it's going to taper off. Going to be snowy mountain pass if you're going to be traveling into Montana or the northern Cascades. Gusty winds this afternoon, gust to 40 for Spokane, but tomorrow's going to be sunny and breezy. Doppler radar starting to get busy as we look to the west. We see the rain that's starting to build in towards Davenport. It's taken a while to get here, but that's going to be what we're going to be facing throughout much of the day with mountain snows into the Selkirks all the way across into the higher elevations. Lookout Pass could see anywhere from 6 inches to a foot of snow. Stevens Pass looking for a foot of snow today. But for us, it's going to be some heavy rains at times. That pushes out, and then the winds fire up, and that's what we're going to be dealing with. So today, 44 degrees will be our high, but those gusty winds and rain showers can be with us this afternoon and into tonight.
Now it's crunch time. Election week is officially here.
That's right, and both presidential candidates are heading out for their final day on the campaign trail today. Hannah Joy's at the Breaking Now desk for us this morning. And Hannah, what can we expect today from both candidates?
Today, Vice President Kamala Harris will spend the day in Pennsylvania, and then she will attend rallies and concerts in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia with performances by Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, and remarks by Oprah Winfrey. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump will attend 4 rallies in 3 states, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. And so far, more than 78 million Americans have cast their ballots. On Sunday, Harris rallied in Michigan, focused on the future.
I see a nation determined to turn the page on hatred and division and chart a new way forward.
Sunday, Harris vowed to end the war in Gaza, an issue that fractured parts of the Democratic Party. However, on Sunday, Trump visited 3 battleground states. He pledged to tackle the economy and inflation, and making this promise while in Georgia about his administration if reelected.
It's going to be so good. It's going to be so much fun. It'll be nasty a little bit at times, and maybe at the beginning in particular.
In the closing stretch, Trump has attacked the intelligence of Harris and people who have voted for her.
If she wins, you will live the rest of your life as second-class citizens in your own country.
Throughout the campaign, the 2 candidates have stayed deadlocked within the margin of error. But a new poll shows Iowa, a state that has voted for Trump twice, says Harris is now leading. While in Michigan, Harris did not mention Trump by name, but her campaign says she's trying to close out on a positive note.
We have the momentum because our campaign is tapping into the ambitions, the aspirations, and the dreams of the American people. Because we are optimistic and excited about what we can do together.
Harris told reporters she voted by mail. She sent her ballot to her home state of California. And Trump said he plans to vote tomorrow on Election Day. Tomorrow, the Harris-Walz campaign will host its election night event at Howard University in Washington, D.C., Harris's alma mater. And Trump's campaign will host an election night watch party at a convention center in West Palm Beach, Florida. Reporting in studio, Hannah Joy, 4 News Now.
Hannah, thanks. Mayor Lisa Brown announced her administration's first budget proposal for the 2025-26 fiscal period on Saturday. According to a press release from the city of Spokane, the proposed budget resolves the city's deficit by applying what the city is calling efficiencies and cost savings measures. Now, these include furlough days for the cabinet, a 10% reduction in budget exercises, and voluntary retirement incentives for Spokane Police Guild. It also includes a slight reduction in the city's workforce. The budget addresses the city's homelessness and opioid crisis with key actions like $500,000 of opioid settlement funds for Spokane Fire Department's Community Assistance Response Program and the implementation of the new scattered shelter model. In a statement, Mayor Brown shared, "I am excited to put forward a budget that is not only balanced, but puts the city of Spokane back on track to fiscal stability, all while making critical investments in our collective future." You can find the link to the full budget proposal on KXLY.com.
Rallies to get out the vote are happening all over the state of Washington, like this women's march in Everett on Saturday. I was advocating for strong democracy. It's one of more than 200 marches nationwide that all shared this sentiment.
We need to get people to the polls. We need to make sure that those people that believe in a woman's right to protect her own body stays here in Washington and across the country.
Now, a few local election officials were there and spoke to a crowd of a little more than 200 people. The group marched through the city with signs advocating for women's rights and reproductive freedoms.
In news for your health, childhood obesity is a problem the CDC says is getting worse. Obesity rates among people ages 2 to 19 jumped from nearly 14% in 1999 to more than 20% in 2023. Severe obesity rose from more than 3.5% to 7%. Obesity is a risk factor for many diseases, from diabetes to cancer, but parents and family members can take action.
Good, healthy habits that tackle obesity start early. They start in the home, and very small habits can make a lifetime of difference.
This includes limiting sweets and establishing a healthy eating pattern. Frozen and canned fruits and vegetables are often less expensive than fresh and are still good for you. Just look for low sodium options. The CDC also recommends setting consistent sleep routines and replacing screen time with active family time. Things like walking the dog before and after school, riding bikes, and having races in the backyard. Good morning. Northwest time is now 6:38 on the nose.
Checking back in with Mark Peterson here as we head into our Monday. We got a lot going on today.
It's a colorful Monday.
It looks like it.
So we do have winter weather advisories north of us. We do have wind advisories to the south and to the west, and some warnings into the higher elevations for heavy snows. That's in the pink. We're going to have more on your full forecast coming up.
And a popular drug used to treat depression and nerve pain has now been recalled. What symptoms you should be aware of if you take it? We'll tell you when we come back.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
Initiative 2124. It's purposely misleading. So here's what you need to know. Independent analysts say if I-2124 passes, it will bankrupt our affordable long-term care benefit, leaving millions of Washingtonians with no options but private insurance that charges way too much and routinely denies coverage to millions with pre-existing conditions. Don't let it happen. Protect your long-term care benefits. Vote no on I-2124.
One thing that I think is cool about Move Fitness is that everyone that walks through our doors comes for a different reason.
For some people, it's the best part of their day. It's kind of hard to explain. You almost have to experience it.
From the moment you walk in,
from the energetic music, the smiles, and the high fives.
It's just a great, positive place to work out.
And you get it all for about $1 a day.
Join the movement.
Everyone's got to move, right?
As county sheriff, I know Al French is the only candidate who fully supports our local law enforcement.
As a mayor of Medical Lake, I'm confident that Al French is the only candidate with a real plan for affordable housing and clean drinking water.
As the mayor of Airway Heights, I trust that Al French is the only candidate that will keep taxes low and support small businesses.
I trust Al to make our community safer.
And good paying jobs.
And to keep Spokane County affordable.
I'm Al French, and I'm running to get results for you.
We're calling it November.
November.
Because we're all voting no on Initiative 2117.
No, I don't want funding cuts for our roads.
No, I don't want to increase the risk of wildfires.
No, I don't want to hurt small businesses like mine.
No, I don't want cuts to public transit.
No, I don't want to put our clean air at risk.
We all know the threats of 2117.
And we're all
voting no this November.
Welcome to Wonders of the World. Come feel the magic inside. Fascinating and powerful crystals from the dawn of time. Incredible natural wonders and prehistoric artifacts. And talk about magic, you should come to Fantasyland. Thousands of pieces of fabulous jewelry and literally millions of beads. Remarkable, astonishing, and whimsical. Come visit Wonders of the World. There's magic inside, and you can take some home.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:41. Startup Spokane is hosting a series of events to inspire and support entrepreneurs and business owners for the month of November, which is also Global Entrepreneurship Month. Now, this is a partnership between Spokane Public Library and Spokane County Library District. The events include opportunities for some one-on-one conversations with local business experts and workshops on business licensing and permits. They also include the Start Simple Business course from Washington Small Business Development Center.
In news for your health, if you use the drug Cymbalta to treat depression or nerve pain, check the FDA website. There has been a major voluntary recall. According to the FDA, the drug manufacturer issued the recall due to impurities by a substance that can potentially cause cancer and other health consequences. You can check if your prescription is under recall on the FDA's website. If you experience symptoms like sleepiness, exhaustion, a racing heart, vomiting or diarrhea, feel restless, or have any other concerning symptoms after taking the drug, contact your doctor, or if they're severe, go to the emergency room as soon as possible.
All right, our 10-second takeaway on this Monday morning, it's going to be a rainy day. Then the winds are going to fire up, and it's going to be cool all day long. So a warm rain coat would be a great idea. Today's high, 44.
Also, a great idea today maybe is to indulge your sweet tooth, because today is National Candy Day. The word candy covers a lot of territory, but includes chocolate bars, gumdrops, and suckers. Candy was first made from honey, and it was once thought to calm the digestive system and cure a sore throat. You could celebrate the day by enjoying some of that leftover Halloween candy that I know you still have sitting in a bowl at home, or maybe in your kid's Halloween trick-or-treat bag. It's an excuse to grab some.
Cure a sore throat. You know, I got a throat issue going on.
Okay.
Probably need a chocolate bar.
Sounds like it.
It's now 6:43.
There has been record-setting early voting so far in Idaho, but if you still need to cast your vote, our Allison Martinez is live in Kootenai County with everything you need to know.
If you're planning on voting in person tomorrow, it's likely that you'll see some large crowds. We're sharing the information you need to know to make sure your vote is counted coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
From refinishing cabinets, doors, and trim to painting walls and ceilings, Everhart Painting has you covered. Everhart Painting has been Spokane's premier painting contractor for over 50 years. Call Everhart Painting today and receive $500 off. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
Why is liberal Carmilla Conroy mudslinging and stretching the truth? Maybe it's to hide her extreme plans for an open border, drugs pouring into the country, and higher taxes. Conroy doesn't fit our district. Michael Baumgartner will protect our families, Social Security and Medicare, ensure veterans get the benefits they've earned, fight inflation, and make our neighborhoods safe by securing the southern border.
I'm Michael Baumgartner, and I approve this message.
Oh, man.
Don't worry. I can take real good care of you. See? All taken care of. Works perfectly for you, right?
It's important that you're taken care of properly. At Craig Swap & Associates, we don't get paid until you win.
One call, that's all. 509-999-9999.
Did you know that Spokane Hyperbaric Center uses oxygen to reduce pain, inflammation, and swelling?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that hyperbaric oxygen therapy promotes new blood vessel growth, fights infection, and releases more stem cells from your bone marrow?
I didn't know that.
Would you like to know if Spokane Hyperbaric Center is the right choice for you? Go to hyperbarichope.com to find out.
Spokane Hyperbaric Center gave us hope. And now you know.
As a local reporter for almost 30 years, I have seen politics up close, the good and the bad. But since we closed the primaries in this state, it has gotten worse. Party bosses changed the rules, and that cut out 275,000 voters from participating. And wouldn't you know it, elected officials are now even less accountable to the people of Idaho. Prop 1 reopens our primaries for all taxpayers, so we can pick the candidates that work for us. I'm voting yes on Prop 1 to give power back to the people of Idaho.
From refinishing cabinets, doors, and trim to painting walls and ceilings, Everhart Painting has you covered. Everhart Painting has been Spokane's premier painting contractor for over 50 years. Call Everhart Painting today and receive $500 off. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
Good morning and welcome back. At 6:46 this year, Idaho is seeing a record number of early and absentee voters.
But of course, many voters will still line up to vote on Election Day. And Allison Martinez is live this morning to share what Idaho voters need to know heading into tomorrow. Good morning, Allison.
Good morning. I'm here at the Kootenai County Elections Office, and for the past couple of weeks, the line for early voting here has been wrapped around the building. With a contentious presidential election, Proposition 1, and decisions that would impact the future of North Idaho College on the ballot, people are making sure that their voices are heard. On the ballot, there is Kootenai County's next sheriff, the decision for that, and bonds and levies that would dramatically impact the future of local schools. If you plan on being in the midst of the excitement by voting on Election Day in person, Idaho's Secretary of State is predicting record turnout. Here's what you need to know. You have until 8 p.m. on Election Day to turn in your absentee ballot or make it to the county elections office to vote in person. If you are in line by the time polls close, you will be able to cast your ballot. The elections office will open at 8 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. It's important to note that classes will not be in session for students in the Coeur d'Alene and Lakeland school districts. This is because these districts will be serving as polling sites. Now, for all of the answers to your election-related questions, you can head to our website, kxly.com. In Coeur d'Alene, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
Good reminders there heading into tomorrow. Thanks, Allison.
Hey, you are looking at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena, where tonight it will be a buzz with Gonzaga fans. Oh, big game tonight against Baylor. It started at tip-off is at 8:30.
It's a late game.
It's a late game. And also, it's going to be really intense. I mean, that's a tough matchup.
That'll be a good game, though. I'm excited.
I think so. Weather-wise, could it be good to be indoors? Could it be windy about that time? So, you know, we'll see what's going on. We got lots of colors on the map to show you. Here in gold, the high wind warning for the Central Basin, wind advisory into the Palouse, a winter storm or a winter weather advisory to the north of us for light amounts of snow at about 3,500 feet, but heavier amounts into the mountains. It's going to be a busy day. Doppler radar, yeah, this continues to work its way into us, and we're going to see that roll in. It's already creating snow into the higher elevations, but nothing in the lower elevations below 3,500 feet. And we live at about 2,200 feet. So we're not going to be seeing anything but rain. Breezy conditions firing up. We're going to have a high today of 44 with some rain, heavy at times, and then the gusty winds follow the rain. 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Winds in excess of 20 miles an hour, gusts to 40 potentially. So power outages, some of those limbs falling down, leaves coming off the tree. By 8 o'clock, we're going to have those winds to 30 miles an hour and heavier gusts into areas of Moses Lake, Ritzville, and south. We are expecting winds to 40 miles an hour around 5 o'clock, and the sustained winds, 20 to 25 miles an hour. So yes, very blustery. Radar and satellite, yeah, we got a lot to fill in behind that. That's going to be the mover. Then we're going to see things really change. So today, 10 o'clock, and then we see about 3 or 4 that this is all but a done deal. Scattered showers after that, and sunny tomorrow. Today, we're into the mid-40s, 48 into Ritzville. We're going to have 46 for us tomorrow. And again, for Election Day, no weather phenomena into the lower elevations that should keep you from putting your ballot in.
That sunshine will feel nice, though, these next couple of days.
I like how you said phenomena.
Phenomena. Brings back some memories.
All right, thanks, Mark. Your Good Morning Northwest time right now is 6:50.
Your morning sprint's coming up next. Thanks for waking up with Good Morning Northwest on your Monday morning. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Rebath Spokane.
Life's busy. Off is not an option. You need to be on. On time, on the go, on the call, or just ready to play on. Life's waiting. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of over 700 locations today.
I spent my career in law enforcement, the last years as police chief. When it comes to keeping Washington safe, I trust Bob Ferguson.
Bob's top priority is public safety. His plan to hire more police officers is exactly what we need.
He'll create a statewide response unit to tackle the fentanyl crisis.
And he'll put the $1 billion he won from drug companies into treatment.
To help us protect Washington,
I trust Bob Ferguson.
Bob Ferguson for governor.
Not the best sound to start your day with, is it? Your next decision should be to call Precision. Our professionally trained technicians are here to provide you with award-winning service every time, so we can get you back up and running fast. Call or book online today.
Maria Cantwell knows prices are too high, and we have to fight back. That's why she passed a law to take on big oil traders spiking gas prices, and why she's fighting grocery store mergers that would lead to higher food prices. Cantwell also took on drug companies and won, capping insulin for seniors at $35 a month and capping seniors' out-of-pocket expenses.
I'm Maria Cantwell, and I approve this message because I'll take on anyone to protect Northwest consumers.
Fall in love all over again with Shrek the Musical, an epic tale filled with hijinks, adventure, and lots of gassy fun.
I know it's today.
Shrek the Musical.
Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
As county sheriff, I know Al French is the only candidate who fully supports our local law enforcement.
As a mayor of Medical Lake, I'm confident that Al French is the only candidate with a real plan for affordable housing and clean drinking water.
As the mayor of Airway Heights, I trust that Al French is the only candidate that will keep taxes low and support small businesses.
I trust Al to make our community safer.
And good paying jobs.
And to keep Spokane County affordable.
I'm Al French, and I'm running to get results for you.
Batteries Plus has the national scale for all your power needs and a dedicated expert for the local support you want. Power on with Batteries Plus Business.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
It is 6:53, time to get you ready to take on your Monday with the morning sprint.
Allison Martinez is live at the Kootenai County Elections Office to share what Idaho voters need to know leading up to Election Day.
And Mark Peterson here with details on a cool and rainy afternoon ahead.
Hannah Joyce in studios with details on tornado destruction in Oklahoma and how it could affect voting there.
But first, we heard a few of your concerns about reports of people receiving multiple ballots or being able to obtain additional ballots at county service centers. Well, we want to fact check those claims and answer your questions. We found out no matter how many ballots you would obtain, the Spokane County Elections Office will only count one of your submissions. And your ballot has to be sealed in your voter envelope, which has a unique barcode containing your registration details. Spokane County Auditor Vicki Dalton says if someone submits more than one ballot, not only will additional ballots not be counted, but legal action could be taken for potential voter fraud.
And if you want to check that the office has received your ballot, you can log onto your computer and go to votewa.gov. You can plug in your name, your birth date to see whether or not it's been accepted and if there's any problems that need follow-up. That is also where you can print off a replacement ballot if you need one. Again, the dates for times and the locations for any voter service centers are going to be found on our website, kxly.com/forthepeople.
In addition to the presidential election, Idaho voters have some big decisions on their hands, including Proposition 1, Kootenai County Sheriff, the Idaho Board of Trustees for North Idaho College, and bonds and levies that would impact local school districts. If you plan on making your vote count in person tomorrow, this elections office will be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you are in line by the time polls close, you will be able to cast your ballot. This is the same deadline for those looking to turn in their absentee ballot. For more information, you can head to our website, kxly.com.
All right, today we're going to see, again, temperatures that are mild right now, but it's going to get cool, windy, and rainy. We're sitting at 40 in the valley, 35 Deer Park, and 35 into Cheney. We're expecting, again, the Doppler radar to continue to brighten up as this rain marches towards us. And that's going to mean that we're going to have a rainy midday. The afternoon, well, we dry out, and we're going to have gusty winds. We'll talk more about that coming up.
Yesterday, tornadoes slammed the state of Oklahoma. Now dozens of people are hurt. One tornado had winds of at least 136 miles per hour. The twisters damaged or destroyed dozens of homes and buildings. Now the state is making sure that polling stations are up and running for Election Day tomorrow.
We just wanted Oklahomans to know, big election on Tuesday, and we just want them to know we are prioritizing with our utilities to make sure that that power is up at those polling stations.
The governor says if there are any issues at polling places tomorrow, voters will be rerouted to other locations to cast their ballots. For updates, tune in to Good Morning America.
Rallies to get out the vote are happening all over Washington, like this women's march in Everett Saturday, advocating for a strong democracy. It's one of more than 200 marches nationwide sharing this sentiment. A few local election officials were there and spoke to a crowd of a little more than 200 people. The group marched through the city with signs advocating for women's rights and reproductive freedom.
Well, striking workers at Boeing are set to vote on a new contract proposal today. The offer between Boeing and the union includes compounding pay increases that add up to more than 43% over the 4-year deal. It also includes increased contributions to the employees' 401k accounts. However, it does not restore the pension plans the union lost a decade ago. The offer is also a modest increase over the last offer of nearly 33,000 striking workers that they rejected then. This has become the costliest strike in the U.S. economy this century.
Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown announced her administration's first budget proposal for the 2025-26 fiscal period Saturday. According to a press release from the city, the proposed budget resolves the city of Spokane's deficit by applying what the city is calling efficiencies and cost-saving measures. Those include furlough days for the cabinet, a 10% reduction in budget exercises, and voluntary retirement incentives for Spokane Police Guild. It also includes a slight reduction in the city's workforce. The budget addresses the city's homelessness and opioid crisis with key actions like $500,000 of opioid settlement funds for Spokane Fire Department's Community Assistance Response Program and the implementation of the new scattered shelter model. In a statement, Mayor Brown shared, "I'm excited to put forward a budget that's not only balanced but puts the city of Spokane back on track to fiscal stability, all while making critical investments in our collective future." Find the full budget proposal on KXLY.com.
And we'll be back with the final check of weather after this.
At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
Are you a daredevil who drives on empty to see if you can make it? At Numerica, you'll find money answers for you and only you. Learn more at numericacu.com.
4 News Now anchors, not just in the newsroom, but in the community, doing the work, listening to you, asking questions to help keep your family safe. We're the people you trust on your screens and in your neighborhood. And we'll always be there on 4 News Now.
We're calling it November.
November. Because we're all voting no on Initiative 2117.
No, I don't want funding cuts for our roads.
No, I don't want to increase the risk of wildfires.
No, I don't want to hurt small businesses like mine.
No, I don't want cuts to public transit.
No, I don't want to put our clean air at risk. We all know the threats of 2117.
And we're all
voting no this November.
All right, the most impactful weather we could be seeing this afternoon is going to be the winds gusting to 40 miles an hour. Right now, we have gusts to 12, and we have cloudy conditions, and rain is going to start moving in. But we look at the winds today, and we're going to have winds in excess of 20 miles an hour for this afternoon. Once the rain tapers off around 5 o'clock, the winds really fire up, and we could see those gusty winds all the way till 10, 11 o'clock tonight. Today, 44, 46 tomorrow. Election Day, 46, sunny. We're going to have sunshine and temperatures in the mid-40s for Wednesday and Thursday. But it's going to be mountain snows if you're traveling today.
Well, thanks so much for starting your day with us right here on Good Morning Northwest.
We've sure liked having you along. We'll see you throughout the morning on Good Morning America.